Tutorial number 3 about the application of derivatives. In this chapter, we will start with how can find the stationary point, how can find the increase and decrease interval, how can find the local extrema, concavity interval, inflection point, how can sketch the f of x, any function. Also, we use the test, it's called second derivative test to find the local extrema, and we have some optimization problem, okay? Okay. The first subject about the stationary point. Stationary point, at this point, maybe the function changes from increase to decrease or from decrease to increase. Maybe this point have local maximum, local minimum, like this. If we have f of x in xy plane, this is f of x, and if we have some point like A and the image of A fill A, also if we have B and the image of B fill B, at this point we have tangent line, okay? The slope of tangent line, here at x equal A equals 0, because this is horizontal tangent line, okay? We can conclude also f prime at A equal 0, okay? Also at point B, the slope of the tangent line at x equal B equals 0, and f prime of B equal 0 also. Look at this stationary point. The stationary point means the point has 0 slope in tangent line, or f prime equal 0, okay? So we can conclude, let f of x is a polynomial. Polynomial means we have many terms with x to the power integer number, okay? Positive integer number. So x equal A and f fill A is a stationary point, or called critical, also we can call critical value. Critical value, okay? So f prime of A must be equal 0. Any change in f of x from increase to decrease occur on the point is called critical point or stationary point. At this point, the f prime equals 0, okay? Now, if we need to find the stationary point, must we find the f prime and solve the equation f prime equal 0. Example about this. Example, find the stationary point. Number 1, if we have f of x equal 2x to the power 3 minus 3x squared minus 12x plus 5. The solution, we need to find f prime. This equal 6x squared minus 6x minus 12, and put it, this is equal 0. Okay, so we need to solve f prime equals 0. Divide by 6 all equation. We have x squared minus x minus 2 equal 0. So we have the factory like this. The factorization of this quadratic equation, we need two value, the product negative 2 and the addition equal negative 1. So we have negative 2 plus 1, the product negative 2 and the addition equal negative 1. Okay, now so we have x minus 2 equals 0 and x plus 1 equals 0. So we have x equal 2, this is the first stationary point, and x equal negative 1, this is the second stationary point. This is called stationary value. To find the point at x equal 2, we need to find f2. f2 equal what? This is f, the function f. We have substitute 2 multiply 2 to the power 3 minus 3 2 square minus 12 multiply by 2 plus 5. So we have 16 minus 3 multiply for 12 minus 24 plus 5. So we have 4 minus 20 plus 5 minus 15. Okay, so the stationary point x2 and y negative 15. This is the first stationary point. At x equal negative 1, substitute negative 1 in f of x. We have 2 negative 1 to the power 3 minus 3 negative 1 square minus 12 negative 1 plus 5. So we have negative 2 negative 3 plus 12 plus 5. So we have 12. So the second point negative 1 and 12. This is the two stationary point. Firstly, find the f prime, solve f prime equals 0, and find the points of stationary value of x. Okay, any question? Any question? Another example. Number 2, f of x equal x to the power 4 minus 8x squared plus 10. To find the stationary point, we must find firstly the f prime. So f prime of x equal 4x to the power 3 minus 16x, and this is equal 0. Now we need to solve this one. We can take x as common factor. We have 4x squared minus 16. This is equal 0. So we have x equal 0, or 4x squared minus 16 equal 0. Move negative 16 to another side. So we have 16. Divide by 4. We have x squared equal 4. Take the radical. X equal plus minus 2. So we have how many stationary points? We have 3 stationary values. The first one at x equals 0, we need to find f is 0. F is 0 equal 0 minus 0 plus 10. Okay, so we have 10. So the first point 0 and 10. At x equal 2, f2 equals, substitute 2 in f of x, 2 to the power 4, 16, minus 8 multiply 4, 32, plus 10. So we have negative 16 plus 10, negative 6. So the second point 2 and negative 6. At x equal negative 2, f in negative 2 equal also 16 minus 32 plus 10. We have negative 6 also. So this is the stationary point. And this is stationary value. Okay. Any question? Okay. Now we can, after find the stationary point, we can determine the interval of increase and decrease. How can find the intervals of decreasing and increasing? Increasing and decreasing interval. Look at this graph of f of x. Like this. We have A and we have 2 stationary points and this one. Look at Look at the first point. We have A, B, and C, and D. The function f of x, this is f of x. From A to B, we can conclude this is increasing from A to B. From the interval, in interval A to B, the function increasing. Look at this point, for example. If we have here x1, so this is the tangent line. The tangent line have a slope m at x equal x1, and this is greater than 0. So we have positive slope. Look at the another side here, for example, at x equal 2, we have tangent line like this, and the slope of tangent line at x equal x2 less than 0, negative, because the slope decreasing. Okay. And also look at this. We have, this is tangent line at x equal 3. We have a slope positive. Now we can conclude like this. we have f prime. The sign of f prime from A to B, positive. From B to C, negative. From C to D, positive. If we have slope positive, we have increasing. The slope negative, we have decreasing. Okay, so because the slope, this is the value of f prime. Now we must find the sign of f prime, positive, negative, around the stationary point. Around what? Stationary point. Around the stationary point. To find the increasing interval or decreasing, if we have f prime positive, so in this interval increase. If we have f prime negative, we have decrease. Okay, now we can conclude if f prime of x greater than 0 for all x belongs to the interval from A to B, we can conclude that f of x increasing on the interval from A to B, and if f prime of x less than 0 for all x belongs to the from B to C, so we have decreasing interval on the BC. Okay, now from here we can conclude this is increasing and this is interval increasing from A to B, decreasing from B to C, and increasing also from C to D. Example to find the interval of increasing and decreasing. Look at this example. Find increasing and decreasing interval. Number 1, f of x equal 2x to the power 3 minus 15x squared plus 24x plus 2. Now the solution like this. F prime, firstly we need to find the stationary point. After that, find the sign of f prime. If f prime positive, so this is increasing interval. F prime negative, decreasing interval. Okay? The f prime equals 6x squared minus 30x plus 24, and this is equal 0. Divide by 6 to simplify the quadratic equation. We have x squared minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. Okay. Now, by factorization, we need two numbers, the product 4, the addition negative 5. We have negative 4 and negative 1. Okay, so x minus 4 equals 0 and x minus 1 equals 0. X equal 4 and x equal 1. This is the stationary point. Okay. Here f prime, the stationary point only 2 at 1 and 4 from negative infinity to infinity. Okay. Now, how many region? How many interval here? How many interval? How many interval in f prime line? 3 interval. This is interval from minus infinity to 1, from 1 to 4, from 4 to infinity. Okay, so we have 3 interval. Okay, 3 region. Now, choose any value or any number in this region. For example, we can choose from minus infinity to 1, we can choose 0. From 1 to 4, we can choose 2. Sorry. From 4 to infinity, we can choose any number, 5, 10, 8, any number, okay, from 4 to infinity. Okay, good. Substitute this value in f prime. So f prime at 0 equal what? This is f prime, okay. We have 0 minus 0 plus 24. So we have positive or negative? Positive. So this is positive. Substitute it to, we have 2 squared 4 multiply 6, 24 minus 60 plus 24. We have negative. Okay. I don't care about the exact value. I need this is positive or negative after substitution. Okay. So this is negative. Substitute 5. 5 squared 25 multiplied by 6. We have 150. 5 multiply 30. We have 150 plus 24. This is positive. Okay. So if f prime positive, we have increasing. If we have negative, decreasing, like this. Okay. So at what interval the function increase and decrease? We can conclude f of x increasing on the interval what? What interval? Increasing from minus infinity to 1. Okay. Also union from 4 to infinity. Okay. So we have 2 interval, the f of x increasing from minus infinity to 1 and from 4 to infinity, and f of x decreasing on the interval from 1 to 4. Any question? أسيل. طيب دكتور نقدر نختار أرقام غيرهم؟ Yes, you can. You can choose from minus infinity to 1 any number. ممكن تختار من سالب ما لا نهاية إلى 1 أي رقم يا أسيل. تمام؟ أي رقم. فممكن تختار 0 سالب 1 سالب 2 إن شاء الله سالب نص. لكن نحاول نختار أرقام بسيطة سهلة. من 1 ل 4 شو ممكن نختار؟ اختار أي رقم. إن شاء الله 1 ونص. إن شاء الله تقول 2.1 أي رقم من 1 ل 4. لكن نختار مثل ما قلنا أرقام بسيطة. فأنا اخترت 2. بعد الأربعة ممكن نختار 5 6 10 20 100 اللي بدكم إياه. أوكي. واضح يا أسيل؟ طيب another question. كريم كريم بيحكي من 1 و4 خارج المجموعة لأنه الميل عندهم 0 صحيح؟ 1 و4 1 و4 نعم طلعناهم قصدك من الانترفال بس المصطلحات لأنه المجموعة راح بالي على إشي ثاني. طلعناهم برا الانترفال اللي هي الفترة لأنه الميل بكون عندهم 0. نعم بكون ثابت عندهم في استقرار بسميها stationary point. تمام بكون في استقرار عند الفانكشن ثبت بعدين على يمينه ممكن يطلع أو ينزل. أوكي طيب may you repeat please I don't get the second step. The second step أوكي خلينا بمثال آخر يا خالد. أنت خالد الجديد أنت خالد محمد. والله خالد وضعك يعني أكيد يعني لازم تعرف قوانين الاشتقاق ولازم يعني راح عليك 2 chapters يعني مشكلة يعني. لكن خلينا نعد مثال آخر. أوكي ما فهمت الاستقرار. أي استقرار يا إبراهيم؟ الاستقرار أنا قصدي فيه بس راح أحذف اللي أكتبه. يعني فانكشن عندي بهذا الشكل تمام كان متزايد 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 السلوب عنده لاحظ السلوب للتانجنت لاين. خلينا أعيدها يعني خلينا نميلها أكثر. الفانكشن قاعد يتزايد يعني أي نقطة هون التانجنت لاين ماله بوزيتيف طالعت لو. هذه اللاين أخذناها في شابتر 2 وأخذناها في شابتر 1. هنا قاعد decreasing فأي نقطة في منطقة الديكريزنج بنلاحظ التانجنت لاين decreasing also. أوكي هنا هذه بكون فيها التانجنت لاين زيرو هوريزونتال عفوا إذا السلوب زيرو. إذا عند هذه النقطة اللي هي مثلا تكون على سبيل المثال A لو نعوضها في المشتقة بتكون زيرو لأن المشتقة هي الميل والميل هي المشتقة. واضح يا إبراهيم؟ إن شاء الله تكون أوكي. فهو الفانكشن بتزايد بستقر بصير هوريزونتال بعدين ببلش يتناقص. ترى ممكن الفانكشن يتزايد يستقر بعدين يكمل تزايد ممكن وارد لكن هذه تعتبر ستيشنري بوينت تعتبر ستيشنري بوينت بس ما نقدر نقول انه تغير عندها الفانكشن. ما بنقدر نقول انها مثلا ماكسيمم ولا مينيمم. تمام ما بنقدر. طيب طيب دكتور بطلع الحل 0 ولا مستحيل؟ ايش الحل 0؟ انا هاي ما فهمتها صراحة ما بعرف يا زياد شو قصدك بيطلع الحل 0؟ مصطلح ما فهمته. شو هو الحل؟ الحل لإيش؟ احنا ما بنطلع حل معادلة. تمام احنا بنطلع انترفلز. هل قصدك انه ممكن الستيشنري بوينت تطلع زيرو؟ لازم نوضح يعني لانه كاتب بيطلع 0 ولا مستحيل في اشي يعني مش واضح عندي من سؤاله. دكتور you didn't explain to me the second step. راح أعيدها في مثال كامل. بدي أعيد لك مثال كامل يا خالد. Okay. The second example x to the power 4 minus 4x to the power 3 plus 10. نيجي the first step find what? The first step find the stationary point. So f prime of x equal 4x to the power 3 minus 12x squared. This is equal what? 0. We can take x squared as common factor, so we have 4x minus 12 equals 0. So x squared equals 0, or 4x minus 12 equals 0. From here, we can conclude x equals 0. This is the first value of a stationary value. And here, 4x equal 12 by divide by 4, x equal 3. So we have two stationary values. The second step, we need to find f prime. انتبه يا اللي ما فهموا خالد وغيره اللي ما فهم كيف السكند ستيب. فين دي f prime? f prime from minus infinity to infinity. How many stationary point or value? We have 0 and we have 3. Okay. Now we have the first interval from minus infinity to 0. The second interval from 0 to 3. Third interval from 3 to infinity. So, which value we can choose to check the sign of f prime? We can choose -1 from the first interval. The second interval we can choose 1 to substitute in f prime. Also here we can choose, for example, 5. Okay, so f prime -1. F prime substitute in here. Okay, so we have -4, -12, so we have negative less than 0, negative. Substitute f1, f prime, substitute 1 in f prime, so we have 4 minus 12, also negative. Negative, negative. Substitute 5, this is equal, if we need to substitute 5 to the power 3, 125, multiply by 4, we have 500. And we have a 12 multiplied by 5 squared, so we have 12 multiplied 25. This is greater than 500. 12 multiplied 25, we have, this is 300, so this is positive or negative? Positive, okay? So this is positive. Decreasing, decreasing, and increasing. Any question until now? Any question? Okay. Now we can conclude the increasing and decreasing interval. Okay. Depend on what? 1 and 5. You can choose, Khalid, you can choose any number between 0 and 3. Any number. You can choose 1 or 2 or 1.5. Any number. Okay. Here also we can choose any number from 3 to infinity. Any number. 5, 4, 10, 100, 15, 21, any number. Okay, Khalid? Now, what's the interval of increasing? F of x increasing from 3 to infinity. And f of x decreasing on the interval from minus infinity to 0, union from 0 to 3 also. So we have the two interval decreasing, the function f of x decreasing, and one interval increasing. Okay, any question? Now, how can determine the maximum and minimum value? Local, this called local extrema. Local extrema means local maximum and local minimum. Okay, so local extrema, this means we need to find the minimum and maximum. ينفع نعوض ب1 و5 صح؟ يا ندى أكيد ما احنا عوضنا ب1 و5. شو المشكلة؟ ما فاهم. ترى هذه الأرقام اللي أنا مختارها فقط للتعويض يا ندى، فقط للتعويض عشان أشوف إشارة الأف برايم فقط، ما لها أي اعتبار. الفايف هذه وال1 وماينس 1 هاي اللي بتسألون عنها، أنا اخترت، أنت اختار رقم ثاني ممكن، لكن احنا بنعوضها بأف برايم. ليش؟ أنا هدفي أوجد الإشارة فقط من 0 ل 3. شو الإشارة؟ كيف بدي أوجدها؟ كيف أبين الإشارة لأف برايم؟ عوض أي رقم، 1 2 2 ونص 1 ونص، اللي بدكم إياه، إن شاء الله نص وربع تعوضوا، هي من 0 ل 3. أوكي؟ ولا هذه ما لهن أي اعتبار، ما لهن أي لزوم، هذولا ما في إجنور، خلص هن بس أخذتن عشان فحص إشارة فقط. تمام؟ بعدين ينكب، ما إلي أي دخل، ما بحطهن نهائيا لا بنتيجة نهائية ولا شيء، فقط أخذتن كفحص إشارة. نيجي هنا local maximum and minimum، برضو نحاول نرسم رسمة ونوضح من خلالها الماكسيمم والمينيمم. If we have f of x like this, we have 2 points. At this point we have a stationary value. Okay. At this point, at A and B, we have stationary point. Stationary point A and F A. This is the first point, and we have B and F B, the stationary point. Look at this. We have here the function increasing, and after stationary point decreasing. This is decreasing. So the stationary point, if change from increasing to decreasing, we have maximum or minimum. This is maximum or minimum. If change from increase, increase, after that decrease. So this is point, maximum or minimum, maximum. Okay, so if we have f prime at A, also we have B, change from increasing from positive to negative. Look at this, increase and decrease, increase and decrease. This is maximum or minimum. maximum زي قمة جبل يعني احنا بنتحدث تزايد بعدين تناقص، فهذه يعني زي قمة جبل ناخذها. اوكي. And if the stationary point around the stationary point, this one, the second one, change from decrease to increase. From decrease to increase. Look at this. Decrease, increase, decrease, increase. So this is minimum or maximum? Minimum. Good. So from this direction to up, direction to down, we can conclude also at this stationary point increase, maximum or minimum. Okay, so we can conclude if f prime changes from positive to negative at x equal a, so f has local maximum. This equal a and f a. This is point local maximum. And if f prime changes from negative to positive at x equal b, so f has local minimum. B and f will be like this. Okay, so we have actually 4 situations. Okay, the first one may be around the stationary change from positive to negative. So this is A and F A local maximum. If change around the stationary point from negative to positive, so this is local minimum. But if f prime, this is f prime, okay, this is what f prime. If f prime not change, so we have positive, positive, increase, increase, or decrease and decrease. So this is A and F A maximum or minimum? A and F A, this is maximum or minimum? The first max, none, minimum, maximum. Okay, this is called not local extrema. لا تعتبر ماكسيمم ولا مينيمم لأنها لوكال. شو يعني لوكال؟ بس عشان نكون بالصورة، شو يعني لوكال ماكسيمم؟ يعني look at this. At A, at this point A, we have increasing and still increasing, okay, at this point. Around this is maximum? No, because we have some point here. This is greater than FLA. And we have here some point less than this point. Okay? So we cannot conclude this is A and FLA maximum or minimum. So this is not local extreme. Okay? Also look at this. If we have decreasing at A and continue decreasing at A. So around this point, where is the point? Slide, previous. Around this one, we cannot conclude this is the point A and FLA maximum or minimum. Okay? Understand this point? Now, example about maximum and minimum. Example, find the local extrema of f of x. Number one, f of x equal 2x to the power 3 minus 3x square minus 12x plus 5. The first step, we need to find the stationary point. Okay, so f prime of x equals 0. Find, for example, x's, x1, x2, x3. Put the stationary point here. Okay. After that, find the sign of f prime. Put the direction to check if we have increase or decrease or maximum or minimum. In this example, we need to find only local extrema. At what the point the f of x maximum, and we need to find the point at this point the f of x minimum. Okay, this is the plan of the solution. Now, so find the stationary point. Find the stationary point. If we need to find the stationary point or maximum and minimum, increase and decrease, we must find the stationary point. Okay. This is equal 0, divide by 6. So we have x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Already solve it. So we have x equal 2 and x equal negative 1. Okay. Now, after that, we need to find f prime from minus infinity to infinity. We have negative 1 and 2. Now choose, we have three regions from minus infinity to negative 1, from negative 1 to 2, from 2 to infinity. Okay. Now we can choose f prime less 0. Sorry, f prime less negative 2. We have, this is f prime 2 square, negative 2 square 4 multiply 6 24, negative 2 negative 6 plus 12 minus 12. So this is positive. So this is the direction. F prime of 0 equal negative 12. So this is negative. Direction to down. Choose, for example, we can choose 3, 4, 5, any value. We can choose also 10, for example, if you need 10 square 100 multiply 6 600 like this. Negative 6 multiply 10 minus 60 minus 12, so this is positive. Okay, the direction to up. Now, at what point the f of x maximum? We have the first point minus 1 and f in minus 1, and we can find it. The second point we have 2 and f at 2. We can find it also. F in minus 1, substitute f in minus 1 here. F in minus 1, we have negative 2, negative 3, plus 12, plus 5, so we have 12. So negative 1 and 12. At this point, f of x, maximum or minimum? Maximum or minimum? Maximum. So f of x has local maximum. Okay. Now, the second point, find f at 2. So we have 2 squared, 4 multiply 6, 24. 2 multiply negative 6, negative 12, and negative 12. So we have 0. So 2 and 0, f of x has local minimum. Okay, good. We know the local maximum from the direction up and down. Up and down, this is maximum, but down change to up, this is minimum. Okay, any question? Any question? ليش مو العكس؟ أسيل مركزة معي أنت هنا، كم رسمة رسمت أنا هنا؟ وكم رسمة هنا رسمت؟ شو العكس؟ يعني هذه البوينت ليش مينيمم؟ هذه البوينت ليش ماكسيمم؟ لأنها تغيرت من تزايد لتناقص، من تزايد لتناقص، فلما يكون from positive to negative كل هذا الشرح بعدين ليه مو العكس؟ يا أسيل ما أعرف شو أشرح أكثر من هيك. الفانكشن تغير من تزايد لتناقص، تزايد طلع على جبل بعدين نزل، طلع على جبل وصل القمة بعدين نزل، هذه القمة تعتبر ماكسيموم ولا مينيموم؟ ماكسيموم. تمام؟ والمينيموم نفس الشيء، نزلنا في قاع الوادي بعدين طلعنا فتعتبر مينيموم. هاي دايركشن حوالين الماينس 1، على يمينه تزايد بعدين تناقص. لما نطلع على الرسمة نحدد إذا كان ماكسيموم ولا مينيموم. لما نطلع على الرسمة، أي رسمة، أنا ما رسمت شيء، ما رسمت يا حسين. اشرح شوي عربي. We talk 6 like common factor, right? We talk 6. Yeah, you can take 6 as common factor or divide all equation by 6 to simplify. Okay يا إبراهيم؟ الخط تاع اف برايم. نعم نطلع عليه ولا ليش أنا رسمته؟ أنا رسمته من هذا الخط من اف برايم وإشارة الاف برايم يا أسيد. بإمكاني أفهم التزايد والتناقص، وبإمكاني أفهم عند هاي النقطة في ماكسيمم ولا مينيمم. تمام؟ يعني بإمكاني أستخرج من هذه الرسمة، أسير بتتحدث عن هذه الرسمة. تمام؟ هذه الرسمة. من هذه الرسمة بإمكاننا نحدد الانكريز ونحدد الديكريز ونحدد الماكسيمم ونحدد المينيمم. تمام؟ طيب خلوكم معي، انتوا ناويين تغلبوني، لكن خليني أورجيكم هالشغلة بس لحظة. أنا حاب أرسم لكم هذا الفانكشن عشان بس تكون على علم يعني. أنا حطيتها وحطيت إشارة المشتقة كيف. الرسم أشوف. يعني حطيت المشتقة وإشارتها. طيب شوف هنا، هذا برنامج رسم اسمه ديسموس جراف كالكوليتر على أونلاين، طبعا هو فري يعني. إذا قلنا y equal خلينا شو الفانكشن اللي عندي 2x to the power. اللابتوب عندي بس أنا تاتش، لحظة شوي. where is the power؟ power 3. طيب minus 3 x square x square and minus x اوكي بلس 5. هذا الفانكشن اللي موجود عندي. تمام، هذا هو. هذا الفانكشن اللي عندنا بهذا الشكل. لاحظوا الماكسيمم اللي هو -1 و12 اللي طلعناها. عندي أنا هنا شو حددت؟ لا 2 24. اوكي، هذا بس خليني أعدله. هذا عندي خطأ. F2 لو بدي أطلعها F2 2 to the power 3. اوكي 8 multiply 2 16 minus 3 في 4 12 minus 24 plus 5 equal negative 15. اوكي negative 15 بهذا الشيء. اوكي هذا هو اللي هو negative 15. من هنا بتطلع 2 and negative 15. اوكي yeah in f of x. in f of x. اوكي ارجع السلايد. تمام، هو negative 15. اوكي طبعا انا لما بدي اوجد نقطة we need to find the point, so this is x and f of x. this is f of x. okay this is f of x. okay any question? عبد الرحمن صالح، لا بنعوض ب f of x. اوكي، نعوض ب f of x فتصبح 2 and negative 15. احيانا من وهيج الشاشة والهذه تتضارب عن نكمل. Another function, if we need to find the maximum and minimum, x to the power 4 plus 4x to the power 3 plus 2. Also we need to find the critical f prime critical point or stationary point. So we have 4x to the power 3 plus 12x squared. Take x squared as common factor. We have 4x plus 12 equals 0. So we have x squared equals 0 or 4x plus 12 equals 0. Take the roots. So we have x equals 0. This is the first stationary value. And we have 4x equal negative 12. By divide by 4, we have x equal negative 3. This is the second. Now we need to check the sign of what? Of f prime. Sign of f prime. We have negative infinity, negative 3, 0, and infinity. Okay. Now we can choose negative 4, f prime the negative 4. We can substitute here or in above, no problem. Okay. So negative 4 square and 4 multiply negative 4 plus 12. So this is positive or negative? Negative 4 square positive, but negative 16 plus 12 negative. So positive multiply negative, negative. So this is negative. Direction to down. Substitute f prime of negative 1. So we have negative 1 square and 4 multiply negative 1 plus 12. This equal positive multiply by also we have negative. So we have positive, positive multiply positive. So we have positive direction to up. F prime, we can choose 1. We have 1 square and 4 multiply 1 plus 12 also positive, positive multiply positive, positive. So here we can conclude Fx has local what? Has local what? Minimum or maximum? Minimum, yes. And this is equal at negative 3 or 0? Negative 3 and f in negative 3. Okay. And f of x has local maximum. F of x has local maximum. No. F of x not has local maximum. Okay, just has local minimum. Now we can find the negative 3, f in negative 3 equal negative 3 to the power 4, 81 plus 4 multiplied by negative 3 to the power 3, negative 27 plus 2. So we have 81 minus 8, 1, 10 plus 2. So we have negative 25. Okay. So the point, the minimum point, negative 3 and negative 25. Okay. just minimum now. Any question? Any question? طيب, now concavity. Ibrahim, why did we put F النقطة يا إبراهيم؟ هذه النقطة هي اللي بتحقق لي الماكسيمم. يعني F of X هو maximum at what point؟ يعني maximum at what point or minimum at what point? So we have this is 1 for example. We have this is 1 for example, like this, the function. So we must mention this point, for example, -3, and the image of -3, for example, f in -3. This is the minimum point. Okay. So we must mention the point. At this point, we have minimum in f of x. So f in -3 from this is the function. Okay, substitute in the function. Okay, Ibrahim. Look at this graph. We have, for example, A at A and B and C. Okay. From A to B, look at the function concavity to down. This means this is concave down. Okay. This means F double prime is negative, and from B to C, we have concave to up. This means this is concave up. This means f double prime of x greater than 0. Greater than 0. And this point, that at this point change the function from concave to down, from down to up, or from up to down. This is called inflection point. And the value of FLB, for example, F double prime of B must be equal 0. So the inflection point, the F double prime at this value must be equal 0. So we need to find the concavity interval. We need F double prime. From A to B to C, we must check the sign of F double prime. If we have, for example, negative, so this is concave down. If we have positive, so this is concave up. If the B at B change from down to up or from up to down, this is called inflection point. Okay. Now, the conclusion: if F double prime of x less than 0 for all x belongs to the from A to C, from A to B, sorry. So f of x is concave down on the interval from A to B. If f(w prime) of x greater than 0 for all x from B to C, so f of x is concave up on the interval from B to C. And we called B and FLB inflection point is, sorry, is inflection point. Okay, so we can conclude this is interval down and this is up, concave up, and this is concave down. Also, we have 4 cases. Wait. Four cases. The first one, around the A, fw prime change from negative to positive, or fw prime change around the A from positive to negative, or fw prime around the A not change, positive positive, up up, or around the A negative negative, down down. Okay, this is 4 cases. From the first case, f of x, we can conclude f of x concave down from negative infinity to A, and f of x concave up from A to infinity, and the inflection point A and FLA inflection point. Okay, from the second case, we can conclude f of x concave down from A to infinity, but f of x concave up from minus infinity to A, and A and FLA inflection point. Okay, also f of x here, f of x not has concave down, but f of x concave up from minus infinity to A, union from A to infinity, and A and FLA not an inflection point. So f of x also not has an inflection point. The last one, f of x concave down from minus infinity to A, union from A to infinity, and f of x not has concave down up, sorry, and A FLA not an inflection point, so f of x not has an inflection point. This is the cases. Example about this. Example, find the concave up and down interval of f of x and find the inflection point if exists. The solution for number one, for number one, f of x equal what? X to the power 3 plus 3x squared plus 1. To find concavity to up and down intervals, we need to find f double prime. So the solution, find f prime. This is equal 3x squared plus 6x. And find f double prime of x. This is equal 6x plus 6. And this is equal 0. F double prime equals 0. To find the inflection, if exist, the change, the f of x change from concave up to down around this point. So we have 6x equal negative 6 by divide by 6x equal negative 1. Now, this is f double prime around the negative 1. We need to check the sign of f double prime. Put it, for example, negative 2. So we have 6 multiply negative 2 plus 6. So this is negative to down. And f double prime at 0, we have 6. 0 plus 6 greater than 0. So this is to up. So we can conclude f of x concave is concave up from -1 to infinity. This is infinity and this is negative infinity. And f of x is concave down from negative infinity to negative 1. And we have an inflection point. The inflection point is negative 1 and f in negative 1. So this is equal negative 1, f in negative 1 from the given f of x in example, we have negative 1 plus 3 plus 1. So we have 3. So this is the inflection point. Negative 1 and 3. Any question? Any question? So if we need to find the intervals of concavity, we must go to the f double prime. Okay? Another example, please. Ibrahim, انت دايما another example. مش دايما يعني. خلينا نشوف another example. نعلي الليفل شوي. نحط x square plus 2 all to the power 2. Like this. Okay? The solution, we need to find the f double prime. The first line, this equal, put it the 2 and the same brackets, the new power equal 1 and multiply by the derivative inside the brackets 2x. we need to simplify. Multiply 2 with x squared with 2x. So we have 4x to the power 3. Multiply 2 with 2x. So we have 8x. So this is f prime. Okay. Now we need to find f double prime. This is equal to 12x squared plus 8. Okay. Now this equal 0. So we have 12x squared equal negative 8. What's the solution? Give me the solution of 12x squared equal negative 8. يلا. أيوة. We have to answer. طيب شو هم؟ What is the value of x؟ مش بس السؤال لإبراهيم للجميع. كريم لو أكتب كونكيف داون قبل عادي ولا لا؟ لا ما في داعي على الترتيب. ممكن تبدأ بالكونكيف أب ولا تبدأ بالكونكيف داون، يعني عادي. كلها قاعد استنتاجات ونطلعها من تحليلنا للساين اوف اف دبليو برايم. عادي يا كريم. طيب أفنان بتحكي ايرور، زياد بيحكي it's plus or negative 8 over 12. طيب وأفنان يعني جابتها cannot use root. صح. شوف هنا الاكس تربيع بوزيتيف مضروبة في بوزيتيف، كيف الناتج بده يكون نيجاتيف؟ بصير سالب الجذر؟ ما بصير سالب الجذر. الريال نمبر أنا أحكي، هذا not real number، هذا not real number. أما واحد يجي يقول لي والله هذا لا إله، أنا عارف إنه إله، بصير 2i، بس هذا كومبلكس. كومبلكس إحنا ما بنتحدث عن فانكشن كومبلكس، نتحدث عن فانكشن ريال نمبر. أوكي، هذا موضوع ثاني. هل هذا ممكن نوجده راديكال نيجاتيف 4 مثلا؟ أنا بحكي no, this is not real number, so we don't have solution here. Okay, no, not real solution. تمام. الآن إذا اف دبل برايم ما في أي solution، ما في أي نقطة من minus infinity to infinity، ما في أي نقطة أحطها، ما في نقاط أحطها. شو أسوي؟ خلص ما في نقاط، إذا بفحص بختار أي قيمة. أختار اف دبل برايم 0 1 2 3 4 أي قيمة، لأنه we don't have session, we don't have regions, only one region from minus infinity to infinity. So we can substitute any value, for example 1, so we have 12 plus 8, so this is positive. Any value, put it from minus infinity to infinity in f double prime, we can conclude that we have only positive. Okay, now the f of x concave up from minus infinity to infinity, or we can put it up on r. F of x not has concave down, and f of x not has inflection point. Okay, we can get the square root of the negative number. No, cannot if the function, the domain of the function real number. Okay, اسماعيل ولا عصام؟ we cannot get cannot. Okay, بفكر بتسألني we can. Okay, If we have the domain of the function, this is not complex function, this is real function, okay? Any question? Any question? Now, example. If we have f of x equal 1 over 4, x to the power 4 minus 6x squared plus 16. Find number 1, stationary value or point of f of x. Number 2, increasing and decreasing interval of f of x. Number 3, local extrema of f of x. Number 4, concave up and down interval of f of x. Number 5, inflection points of f of x. Number 6, sketch f of x. Okay. So the first and the second and the third, this is depend on the f prime. We can find the stationary point, increase, decrease, local maximum and minimum by using f prime. Number 4 and 5 must be used the f double prime. Okay. All of these information or data we can use it to sketch the f of x. Okay. Now, the first one, to find the stationary point. Stationary point, we have f of x equal 1 over 4 x to the power 4, okay, minus 6x squared plus 16. So the f prime equal x to the power 3 minus 12x equals 0. So we can take x as common factor. So x equals 0 or x squared equal 12. Take the roots. So we have x equal positive, negative, radical 12. Radical 12, this is between 3 and 5 and 4, sorry. Because the square of 3, 9. The square of 4, 16. So 12 between 3 and 4. Okay. Now, so we have x equals 0. F is 0 equal 0 minus 0 plus 16. So we have 16. So the first stationary point 0 and 16. X equal radical 12. F radical 12, this equal 1 over 4 radical 12 to the power 4, 144 minus 6 multiplied by 12 plus 16. This equal 72. Oh, sorry, 36 minus 72. Wait. 70, wait, plus 16. So we have 36 minus 72, we have negative 36 plus 16, negative 20. So we have radical 12 and negative 20. X equal radical 12, f negative radical 12 equal also the same. 36 minus 72 plus 16 equal negative 20. So we have negative radical 12 and negative 20. So these three stationary point or critical point. Okay? Any question? Okay. The second, we need to find an increase and decrease. This is f prime. We have from minus infinity to infinity, we have three stationary value, radical 12, negative and positive, and we have 0. Okay. Now we can choose the value f prime at, for example, negative 4. The f prime, what's the value of f prime? F prime equal of x equal x to the power 3 minus 12x. Okay, so f prime at negative 4, here negative 4. We can choose here, for example, negative 1. From here 1. From here 4. Okay, like this. Okay, or 5. We can choose 5 also. Negative 5. Negative 5, negative 125 minus 5 multiply 12, 16, positive. So this is negative, negative and down. Okay, substitute negative 1. So we have negative 1 plus 12. So this is positive. F prime at 1 equal 1 minus 12, negative. Substitute 5, we have 125 minus 60, so this is also positive. Okay, now we can conclude f of x increasing on the interval what? Increase from negative radical 12 to 0 union from radical 12 to infinity. This is the increasing, and f of x decreasing on the interval from minus infinity to negative radical 12 union from 0 to radical 12, like this. Okay, this is the increasing and decreasing. Number 3, we need to find the maximum and minimum. Maximum and minimum, we have how many points? 3 points. The first one, negative radical 12 and negative 20. Also 0 and 16, I think, and radical 12 and negative 20. The first point, maximum or minimum? This is maximum. Local maximum. And this is local minimum. Sorry. This is minimum. And this is maximum. And last one also minimum. Okay. Now we need empty slide. Wait. Now, number 4, we need to find the concavity. We have f prime of x equal x to the power 3 minus 12x. So f w prime of x equal 3x square minus 12 equal 0. So we have 3x square equal 12 by divide by 3, x square equal 4. Take the root, so x equal plus minus 2. Okay? Now, put it the f w prime from minus infinity to infinity, and we have negative 2 and 2. We can choose the first one, for example, minus 3. We can choose 0. We can choose 3 also to check the sign of f w prime. This is the value of f w prime. Negative 3 square 9 multiply 3 27 minus 12. So this is positive. 0 equal negative 12. This is negative. Put it 3 27 minus 12 positive. So this is concave up, down, and up. So f of x concave up from minus infinity to negative 2 and from 2 to infinity. And f of x concave down from minus 2 to 2. Okay. Number 5, we can find the inflection point also. An inflection point, this is at minus 2 and f minus 2 and 2 and f2. This equal from here f minus 2, we have 1 over 4, negative 2 to the power 4, minus 6, negative 2 square, I think, plus 16. So we have 16 over 4, 4, minus 24, plus 16. So this is equal negative 4. Okay. And f2 also equal negative 4. This is the same because we have x to the power 4 and x squared. So positive, negative, the same. So this is the inflection point. 2 inflection point. Okay. minus 6 يا زياد أكيد. صحيح يا زياد minus 6 انت. طيب خلينا نتأكد. negative 2 to the power 4 16 over 4 4 وعندي minus 2 square 4 multiply 6 24. The subtraction minus 20 plus 16 equal negative 4. Negative 4. Okay. Now the sketch. Number 6. The sketch of the f of x. This is the x and this is the y. We have the maximum 16, so we have 4, 8, 16, 20. And minimum we need to negative 20. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay. Now, the maximum point 0, 16. Look at the maximum. Where is maximum? Maximum 0, 16 and minimum minus positive radical 12 with negative 20. Okay. 0, 16. This is the maximum. And here we can put it radical 12 and here negative radical 12. Okay. And the 20. So these region, the position of minimum and minimum, negative radical 12 and minus 20, radical 12 and 20, and the maximum 0 and 16. Okay. Also we have an inflection point. This is an inflection point. An inflection point at minus 2, negative 4 at the inflection. An inflection and 2, negative 4 an inflection. Okay. Now the function have decreasing and increasing, decreasing and increasing like this. Okay. Now we need to apply the concavity. Concavity, look at this concavity, up at this interval and down at this interval. So we have concave up, okay, from minus infinity to minus 2 and from negative 2 and passing through the maximum to 2, this is concave down, and from 2 to infinity passing through the minimum, this is concave up. Okay, so this is the graph of f of x by using the data maximum, minimum, inflection point, increase, decrease, and concavity. Okay, any question? Any question? Okay. We have also two subjects, second derivative test and optimization problem. Inshallah, continue in the next lecture. Okay.